Okay, hello anybody that's gonna watch this. Hopefully you are you have been led to this from the first part, and you know where we're at. If this is the first one you've watched, let me tell you where we're picking up. Pardon me. We're at the foot of the high wall. We've just beaten really the first major boss in the game. The big frost-wielding menace. I can't remember what he's called now. Yort or something of the Boreal Valley. Anyway, he's in the books. Now, if you watched the first video, I did pool or send a shout out to the audience, which armor or which outfit you guys want to watch, and somebody actually commented. So we're going to switch it up, and we're going to use outfit B. Now I want to send a big shout out to both Natalie and Emily. Love you guys, wicked cool. Thanks for subscribing, thanks for liking and sharing, all that stuff. You guys are awesome. Very, very cool of you. Alright, so let's switch it up. We're going to actually use the Alva armor for the most part. With this helmet, the Cathedral Knight helmet. I think it looks pretty cool. Looks Holy Knight-esque, and it was suggested, so let's go with this one, and we're going to continue on. I won't waste any time. If you want to find out the rest of my equipment, the rings and the spells and stuff, please watch part 1 of the Holy Knight playthrough, and it details it all. Now I'm going to show you some tips and tricks along the way, some stuff that's going to help you guys improve your game. Please subscribe, comment, feel free to leave me tips, stuff that I've missed. I'm by no means a Dark Souls guru. I'm not bad, I'm a veteran at the game, but yeah, I don't know everything. So please, anything I'm missing, let me know. Any tricks or secret walls or anything like that. Very helpful. This is actually a very short area of the game, but there is an NPC here that you probably want to take the time to find, because eventually this is the NPC that will result in you getting this item, the Dark Hand. If you just walk down the stairs, that gate actually opens and releases these dogs, which just start eating everything, including those poor villagers down there, or zombies, be they whatever. So rather than go for that gate and open the switch, we're going to go back this way. Playing through with a shield can be kind of challenging sometimes, even with these like minor enemies. Get good at rolling. That's all I can say. Now you want to walk over to this guy. Most of these guys are dead except for this one.
Undo my shackles. Oh, then it's true. The champion of Ash, as I live and breathe. To be in your presence is a great honor.
I'm over here.
I am Yol of Londo, a pilgrim, as you can see, only somehow I failed to die as was ordained. Well, perhaps my calling lies elsewhere.
Perhaps.
Say, champion of Ash, how does the idea of taking me into your service strike you? I was once a sorcerer. Surely I can be of use.
He is very useful, albeit super creepy, but very useful. So we're going to accept his services.
I am honored, truly. I should be dead. Yet you have granted me purpose anew. I, Yoel of Londor, do solemnly swear myself to you.
I thank you. Now he actually goes back to the Firelink Shrine. He can teach you miracles, I think. I don't think he has anything spectacular. But there's that. And he actually, once you can visit him, and he gives you free levels. After you die 2 or 3 times, you visit him, and he says he can unlock your true potential or something silly like that. And he gives you a level for free. But it makes your face go a little more withered and hollow looking every time you do it. Now you do this 5 times, and you end up looking like pretty much like this guy in front of me. But he gets assassinated at that point. Now you find him laying dead, and shortly, or very near his corpse, you'll find a lady. I can't remember her name, but there's a woman. She's part of the Dark Race, I think. But she murders him and takes his place as both a vendor, and you can actually complete a quest line to receive this item from her. Or you can kill her and buy it from the handmaiden. It's your choice, but either way, you have access to that item. It's actually pretty easy to get the levels from that guy too. You can literally just go and walk off a cliff 3 times and then go back and talk to him, and he will give you a free level. Hello, whoever's tuned in. Thanks for watching. I assume it's Natalie and Emily, so I'm going to say hi guys and give you guys a big shout out again. And if it's not, thanks for whoever else tuned in. My videos are pretty new and I don't have a lot of followers yet, so please do hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, whoever watches. And I would love to get something interactive going, you know. Feel free to make some suggestions, armor changes. Like I say, tell me anything I've missed. These guys are persistent. Now that item up there, you'll see a corpse hanging up there. I missed it. I'm going to go back up and get it just because if you watched part 1, then you know that we rescued a guy named Grey Rat from a cell. And he asked us to find his wife Loretta and deliver a ring to her. Now, unfortunately for Grey Rat and for Loretta, that happens to be Loretta hanging by her feet there. So we're going to go ahead and cut her down. We're going to go around and collect this item. Oh, you're welcome for shouting you guys out. I think you're pretty awesome too. Somebody just killed themselves and I got some free money. We'll take it. So after you cut down poor Loretta there, she lands down here and you want to go and pick this item up because this is going to be your quest item. It's Loretta's bone. It's a little morbid, but we're going to take that back to Grey Rat. Now, there's a whole lot of enemies here. We could fight them and get lots of money, or you can actually run past them relatively easily. And there's another path here. The game's actually long enough that you forget a lot, so I actually don't know where I'm going. Really, I have a basic idea and I kind of remember it as I go along. But the different paths, I don't really know what leads where and what I have to do in what order and stuff like that. It's a pretty cool game that way because you actually, you know, you forget a lot by the time it gets harder. And there is different items you can pick up and stuff like that. Alright, we have 2 people watching. Hello, anybody else is tuned in? Now this area here, I do remember, these barrels always be where you have any area you see these barrels, because they do that. And there is usually somebody with fire bombs close by waiting to kill you. Oh, Natalie, I love you too, sweetheart. Natalie's my daughter, and she's a big supporter of mine, and I think she is absolutely incredible. You're very welcome for shouting out, sweetheart. Thank you for supporting me. And Emily, thank you. You are wicked too. Emily is Natalie's friend. Also a big supporter of mine. And I can't thank you guys enough. Alright, let's just get away from this guy for a minute. Those fireballs are just wreaking havoc on me. Oh, that's okay. I'll get it figured out for you, sweetheart. We'll get an account set up for you, and you can subscribe to all the videos you like. And hopefully, I get a couple more subscribers myself, because that's a little sad in itself. This is not going very well. Let's try dividing and conquering here. Oh, that was very, very close. Let's go ahead and retreat as hastily as we can. Holy, that was a little more trouble than I had planned, but that's what you get for running in to a group of enemies like that. That was a little silly, and I'm pretty lucky I didn't die. Now we can, well, I can't go up here. That's actually a locked door. That's where the boss is. I'm pretty sure I can't open it from the side, but I'll go double check. Because like I say, you forget a lot, but I'm pretty sure I have to go the other route. Back of that big bonfire where we picked up Loretta's bone. But we're going to double back this way because there is actually a shortcut to the bonfire here, and there's access to another area, a quest line, another boss and stuff, that direction there. But we're going to go back to the bonfire right now, I think, because we've used up a lot of health strings. Alright, now rats aren't super powerful. They don't do a lot of damage or take out, you know, a lot of damage to kill them. But you want to watch out for them because they do swarm you. They're a pack enemy, and they definitely will kill you in a hurry. If you get cornered somewhere like here by, you know, 2 or 3 rats, you actually don't have much opportunity to attack because they time their attacks, you know, in succession. It's very hard to get away from them if you get cornered, and you will likely die. There's always blood stains like this one around rats, and people will get caught napping. Or people like me. Alright. That was a profitable rat. We got a ring and everything from him. Blood bite ring. That increases your resistance to bleeding. We're going to open this door, and this is our shortcut back to the bonfire. Oh, the bonfire that I never lit, apparently. Oh, I see. This is actually where you end up if you go the alternate route. Now, as soon as you get to this area, you get invaded by this guy, this Holy Knight Lothric or something. So this should be an interesting duel. It's always the same guy every time. He's actually an NPC. So we'll do a Holy Knight versus Holy Knight. Here we go. Oh, for some reason I've decided to put my sword away. This guy is so far having his way with me. Making me look like a chump. So much for him. For defeating mad spirits, you get a vertebrae shackle. Pretty useful item. Okay, let's see. Rather than go this way, we're gonna go this way first. We're gonna backtrack this way and go across the other way where I told you there's all sorts of other menacing stuff. If you rock to the end here, you won't have to worry about the giant rats or his little rat pack there. There's just those three, and you can actually run past them pretty easily to avoid wasting health drinks. Because you're gonna need them. All those enemies I fought at the staircase, this is where they come from. If you're patient, most of them will walk away. Usually you get stuck fighting the dogs, but it looks like that one's going to walk away too. Alright. Now those big guys there are going to throw their buckets at me. Be ready for that, because they'll knock you down to this pit. It's a pain. They can only do it once though, so once you dodge them all, you're in the clear. You can run right past them. Because really, who wants to fight all those guys? This guy's an NPC, but he doesn't really have much to offer yet, so you don't really have to bother talking to him. We're gonna go and open this door. As you walk in here, this elevator is going to start coming up, and we're going to talk to another NPC. A pretty useful one. He can help you later on in some other boss fights. Doesn't have anything to sell you, and actually he's kind of a burden because mostly he just wants your help. But let's talk to him.
Oh. Pardon me, I was absorbed in thought. I am Siegbert of Katarina. To be honest, I'm in a bit of a pickle. Have you ever walked near a white birch only to be struck by a great arrow? Well, if I'm not mistaken, they come from this tower. Whoever it is, I'm sure I can talk some sense into them. But I have to find a way up. And that's just the trouble. This lift only goes down, you see, and... well, that doesn't get me anywhere.
Poor old Seaguard here is kind of strong, but he's not very smart.
But you know, with a little warming up, eventually I've got to use my head and...
Or you can wait for me to solve the problem. Now you're going to step on this button and immediately jump off the elevator. It will go down, and something else will take its place. There's actually ropes going up, which are connected to a second lift.
This lift only goes with a...
He's also not very bright and also not very perceptive. So I'm going to go up and solve this problem for him. He wants to go up and talk to a giant that is throwing giant spears or shooting arrows or something down at the other area that we need to pass. Every time we step into the area, he basically pelts us until we're dead. So we're going to go talk to him, make peace, and make him throw his arrows at the enemies instead.
I help any time. I help any...
Oh, apparently. I talked to him in my last game, so I guess that carried over, and he's still my friend. Now, you can choose to kill him. He will drop a ring that if you like bows, it's useful. It extends the range of bows. But I think later on he actually dies on his own, and you can come back here and pick it up. So I don't recommend killing him. Now be wary, because we're going to jump off on the way down. Oh, and we're going to die. That was not well timed. Okay, not a big deal. We'll come back and pick that money up. Oops. We'll call that the first death of this playthrough, and there will be many. So we're going to go back through the sewer. Do our best. Oh. No, I broke my rule. See, now I'm cornered by the rats and in a lot of trouble. See how quickly they get your health down and you don't even really have a chance to attack? Be very wary of rats. And they're quick. They close the gap quick. You get surrounded. Nice. Okay, so let's heal up and get on with it. I almost lost all my money there. At this point in the game, that's not like an excessive amount of money, but we're getting there, and it would have been frustrating nonetheless. Where did that money go? Now let's try this again. Now there's a ledge down here you can see. There we go. That went a little better. You might have heard some hemming and hawing there, and that is our friend who seems to have finally put 2 and 2 together and figured the lift out.
Don't disappear like that. You had me downright worried. But thanks to you, an epiphany has struck me square in the head. I've unraveled the riddle of this inscrutable lift.
What else do you have to say? Oops. That was unfortunate and unintentional. I didn't want to jump down, but eventually you exhaust this dialogue and you don't really have much choice but to jump down. There may be another way to do this that I haven't really figured out. You know, a smarter way that doesn't involve fighting this guy. But for now, this is what we got. I'm also going to go ahead and use an ember. Gives me more health. Gives me the potential to summon allies. Also gives me the potential to be invaded. Now, big giant enemies like this, usually it's a good idea to stay close, because you get inside the range of that weapon, they can't really hurt you. And they do usually have compensation attacks, like some sort of tail sweep he'll probably hit me with, or a roll attack, fire explosion. But yeah, as long as you stay within the range of that weapon, you're pretty much okay. You can kind of dodge between his legs. And there's that attack I had mentioned you want to watch out for. They don't like it when you stay too close, and a lot of them do have some sort of attack like that. Alright. Thankfully that went rather well. A fire gem, you use that to infuse your weapons. Now if you go back and talk to this guy, he'll teach you a couple things.
That was quite
I already have them, so they're probably not going to give it to me.
But you mustn't get in over your head. We unkindled must put our duties first. But, for the moment, we've a toast to make.
Alright, he gives us that. That gives us a lot of health back and cures frostbite. Good to have. And they're also rare. I don't know if you can buy them anywhere.
And our victory together. Long may the sun shine.
And he'll teach you that toast gesture.
Well, the only thing.
Then he decides he's going to take a nap and goes to sleep. Not my choice in settings for a nap, but to each his own. And he will teach that gesture too. Now that he's dead, I don't think there's any other enemies in this area. You can go and kind of explore. Don't bother going up there. I don't think there's any items, and it's a shortcut back to the top. So when you're fighting him, if you know you're low on health, you can actually dip down there and kind of get away from him for a minute. There's some items up there. Not going to be able to get him with that. All right. Onward and upward. Now, if you didn't watch my first video, and you have no intentions of watching it, I'm going to tell you another tip. I did mention this in the first video, but it is an important one, and I think it's worth mentioning again. Your items. You can equip a lot of them in Dark Souls 3. I think you can have like 10 items equipped. And if you're in a fight, you know, it's a clutch situation, and you need to cycle back to that health drink. You know, that's a lot of items to try and scroll through while you're focusing on a fight and dodging and rolling and blocking and etc. Now, this can make it a lot easier. You can actually jump back to the first item you have equipped. So in my case, it's the health drink. In most people's cases, it should be the health drink. Because if you actually hold the button that scrolls your items, which is the down directional button, you can jump back to the first item. So I can heal my health drink, or my magic drink, which is my second item, and then jump back to my health drink right away. Very, very good to know for those fighting, close combat, PvP situations. Actually, that trick works with your spells as well. You can jump back to the first spell you have equipped. Always attack your treasure chest. You never know which one's going to be a mimic and kill you. Or if you played it a million times through, you do know which ones are a mimic and are going to kill you. Run past these guys for now. Somewhere along the ways, on a rooftop, very similar to this one, you can rescue a pyromancer that will actually teach you fire spells. Very useful guy. I don't think this is the right spot, but it was worth having a look. As I mentioned, you do forget a lot. Alright, so this is a tricky spot. If you miss that jump, more than likely you die. I'll pick up that armor. I think both these doors actually lead to the same spot. Let's see what I just picked up. It was a ring, I think. Another Clarente ring. Oh, +1 this one. Excellent, very cool. Those give you stamina regeneration speed. Okay, we're back here to the door that we can't get through yet, and in the midst of all these enemies again. Now, I'm actually going to try and run past them, back up that flight of stairs there, and see if we can double back to the bonfire in the area we're supposed to go to. Actually, it seems it would be much wiser to go and double back through the rat sewer. And a lot of times when you're fighting anything, you can be tempted to just keep swinging for the kill. Be patient. You know, sometimes it's got to happen one hit at a time. You back off and wait for your opportunity for that kill shot. With any luck, I'll just run past this guy and straight for our ladder. In the nick of time. I see a crystal lizard up here too. We're going to double back and get that before we go to the bonfire too. And we're going to proceed down that path there. And I think my crystal lizard was wise to me. Tried to fly the coop. Alright, let's see if I get lucky and can light this. Nope, I'm gonna have to, oh cool. Alright. Now that we've gone that way, let's go this way. Pretty sure we're gonna revisit that way later on. But for now, let's go get that door open and access to the boss fight. These enemies have very high poise. It's not easy to stamina them. At least not with a longsword. If you're not careful, you end up in a situation like that where they've taken half my health, and that's the first enemy I've run into. Let's press on rather than trying to go back to the bonfire. Here's where that giant comes in handy. That tree there, that white birch tree, he's going to throw arrows at those from now on. Now he used to throw it every time I walked near them. Now he throws them at the enemies every time they go close to it. Now you do want to be careful because those arrows can still damage you. But he's, you know, once the enemies are dead, he's not going to throw them anymore. I'm just gonna wait for him to actually kill all these guys, and then I'll go collect these items. There's some very useful items. Now those I just picked up, these young white branches, these are wicked useful. They turn you into scenery. It's like the chameleon spell, if you're familiar with that. It's a camouflage spell. It turns you into, you know, a statue, a barrel, or, you know, shrubbery, a gravestone. Something of that nature. And it blends you into the scenery so you can hide and set traps and stuff. Okay, now this is tricky. Watch this, especially if you haven't talked to the giant, because you have to try and dodge the arrows at the same time. You're going to jump where that bloodstain is, where somebody has tried and failed. Over to this platform. And it's going to be very little value to me, but you want this item, undead bone shard. Now you burn those at the bonfire, the main bonfire, and they upgrade your Estus flasks. As you can see, mine says Estus flask plus 10. That's how you get the pluses, and they give you more health back when you use them. Now that's the way we're going to go, and up across that bridge. But first, you want to stop and pick up some of these items that are hidden up here. I don't think there's anything over there. Over here, we've got some cleric gear, wooden shield, cleric hat, and all the armor to go with it. Watch out because you get ambushed. And then you're going to go down here and pick this up. The ashes. Now those are useful because we're going to trade that to the handmaid in the bonfire, and it's going to give us access to one of the locked doors down in that rat sewer. For now, let's go this way. Ambushes everywhere. Alright, up the stairs we go. There's a very cool item hidden over there. If you jump, you can go pick up a great scythe. It's a tricky weapon to get the hang of. It's worth the effort. Okay, now down here is the door and the staircase that we couldn't get through. And over here is a boss. The boss for the level. He's pretty tricky. Let's see if we can find some help for this one. Doesn't look likely. We might have to fight this guy on our own, in which case it's probably not going to go very well. So before we do this, let's double back and go back, and I'll show you what those ashes are, and a very important locked door that you're going to want to go through. to actually save some time and use. Maybe not. There's a bunch of useful items here that we didn't pick up. Maybe I'll try some fancy footwork and try and pick some of it up. We're gonna have to kill this guy. Thrall. Managed to get most of those items. I think all of the items. Let's keep it going. Alright, now I'm going to teleport back to the shrine bonfire. And we're going to go get a very important item. Sorry for the delay. You're gonna go over here and talk to this girl here. I'm just gonna skip the dialogue because if you're familiar with Dark Souls, you know what she has to say. Now you go down to here and give her Umbral Ash. We just picked this one up in that graveyard with the giant throwing spears. And now she will sell us a key. The tower key gives you access to somewhere else, but this is the one that she now gives us, the grave key. We're going to buy that, and we're going to leave the other one alone for now. I'm also going to take this opportunity to spend some of my money and level up. Let's put it to health.
Farewell, Ashen One, made of flame.
And we'll go back to the dilapidated bridge bonfire. Alright, so you're gonna go back over this bridge and into the door that we opened. And this door here, the one that's got a torch outside of it, is actually locked. We're gonna run across to it and use the key that we just bought. Over here you can pick up a loincloth, and this statue actually is a covenant. You can request absolution, and well, I don't think it's a covenant, but you can actually just request absolution and dissolution. So, you know, depending on what alignment you are, good or evil, that's a very good statue. Pick up some cool items here. Now watch out for the skeletons here. I happen to have a blessed weapon, so I'm going to equip that here, but these skeletons actually can respawn after you kill them, making them a pain. Now, blessed weapon does extra damage to them if they're weak to this weapon, which happens, you know, there's not many things in the game that are weak to blessed weapons. These happen to be one of them. Once we get through this hallway, there's a couple ways you can go. There's a crystal lizard there, and we're gonna go get him, I think. If you're not quick, they will disappear. Be wary, because up there's a guy that's gonna try and ambush you when you get this item. Alright, we're gonna go through there, but as you come through here, be mindful. I think I missed it actually. There should be somewhere, a corpse hanging right there that has an item. I don't think I'm gonna be lucky enough to get that with the Wrath of the Gods. We're gonna have to equip a bow real quick. It's a shield. Alright, now let's go on down here. This is a rat area, and you'll notice all the blood stains. This is another NPC
Who
we
is
want to
that?
talk to.
Someone there? Oh, the dogs, little creatures.
She wants you to touch her in a platonic manner.
Oh, yes, there you are, and I am not praised.
She thanks you and offers her services. She can teach you miracles, and she can also translate
forgive I
tomes.
came to feel time, but is it? Oh, thank I.
And she goes back to the Firelink Shrine, and yet another resident has been added. And now we can talk to this guy, and he will tell us. As long as she is in our services, we're friends.
I'm a light and only.
But if we ever attack her, then we have him to deal with, or something to that effect. And that's back to the lift. Now what we didn't do is actually go down. And down will actually access the next area. Or another area that we can't go to just yet. Thank you, whoever it is that's commented. I'm assuming that is a positive comment. I'm afraid I don't speak that language. But thank you for watching just the same. I hope you can at least understand what I'm saying. Okay, now this is a tough enemy. Here's what we're going to do. I highly recommend doing this. We're going to go back to the elevator and we're going to send it back up, opening this hole in the floor. This is a very aggressive enemy, and he closes the gap very quickly and does a lot of damage. So we're gonna bait him. As I mentioned, he can close the gap very quickly. So let's run him back to this hole, and we're gonna get him to kill himself. First things first, we need to get him to follow us. Now, you're going to lead him up here, and you're going to go to the other side of the hole as quickly as possible. And he's going to attack you. Like a fool. And his sword will automatically get added to your inventory. That guy can be very, very difficult to fight, so I recommend doing that. Right, we've opened this door and access to the next bonfire, the Road of Sacrifice. Before we do this though, maybe we will backtrack and try and fight that boss. Alright, so we're back to this bridge. Let's cut across here. I think would probably be the fastest way back there. I don't know why I'm waiting for them, because this is the way I have to go. Force a habit. We're gonna go back up these stairs as quickly as possible because we have opened the door now. With any luck, we're gonna have at least one summon sign to press down here. See if I can hang around here for a minute. Hopefully one will appear. Doesn't look like I'm going to be fortunate enough to find a summon sign. This can be a tricky fight on my own. Oh, I've got one. That is very, very fortunate. Just in the nick of time. When I was ready to give up, a ray of hope appeared in the middle of the floor. He's taking his sweet time to get here. Hello, Hunter X 157171. How you doing? I'm actually doing a live. Thank you for joining us. Let's see if we can beat this boss. There's a lot of enemies around. You actually don't need to really bother with them. They are going to stand up and try to attack you. But this boss is actually going to kill most of them for you. Once you get close enough, he's going to wake up. Can't do any damage directly to most of this boss's body. All the damage is these little egg sacs. You have to attack these eggs. I guess magic doesn't seem to do anything to them. Once you destroy like one or two of these things, he's going to actually destroy the floor. This hand destroyed. This hand is a pain, a major pain. If it catches you, it can do some decent damage. Apparently the guy's son is pretty darn strong, and he seems to be taking out most of his egg for his much difficulties. That one down, and that's the problem. I think you can actually do damage to that hand too, but it's not worth it. Because it can really hurt you. Just try it. Hopefully the legs. For your help. Now we've actually gotten a key item from this fight, the transposing kiln. We're going to go back to the Firelink bonfire, the Firelink shrine, and actually use that. That item lets us trade the boss souls for boss weapons and spells and stuff like that. It's not an optional thing to get. You have to pick that item up. It's not like a secret or anything. is. So let's go back to the bonfire and I'll show you where to get rid of it. And I think this is a good point to end the video. It's gone pretty well. Other than a little hiccup there at the start where we fell off the ledge, I don't think we even died. Alright, so we're going to go up. We're going to go up here. And talk to this guy.
All that unkindled, and a seeker of lords. I am Ludleth of Cornwall. Look not in bewilderment as I say. I lit the fire long ago, becoming the lord of silver. If substantiation be thy want, set thine eyes upon my child cause. This sad cadaver, no need to be cold. Have a closer look.
Alright, so we can give him that transpose and kill him.
Oh, belike it is a transposing kiln in thy possession. Seen better days, but methinks it shall suffice. Now, bring to me a twisted soul. Transposition is the art of extracting and coalescing the essence of a soul. In
Alright, I'm going to skip through that just because it is so tedious. Okay, so this is the inventory he's got right now. You can trade your boss souls for all this stuff. The only one I have right now, I can get this one. I'm going to hang on to mine for now. I have a couple boss souls, but I have most of these weapons. So let's hang on to them and see what use I can make of them later. Okay, I think that is a good point to end part 2. It's a good checkpoint. We've unlocked a couple bonfires. Beat a boss. Actually, we beat a couple bosses, I think. So, let's call it a night. Thank you anybody that watched. There was a couple people tuned in for this one. That's a nice bonus. Thanks for the comments, and we'll see you for part 3. Bye, guys.